Hey everyone, and welcome to our Q&A presented by Just Love. My name is Paula Jane and I'm talking to Judy Carroll. Judy is an internationally known author. Her books include The Zeta Message, Human by Day, Zeta by Night, Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History, and her two most recent books, both Kindle editions and both also available in German, An Interview with an Alien, Comments by an Undercover ET, and Cosmic Spirituality, Blending Religion and Science in Oneness from an Off-Planet Perspective. Hi Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
So Judy, in our last episode, you spoke about the inner Earth. You said that the actual inner Earth is of a different dimension. It is not physical. Can you expand on how it is not physical but of a different dimension? Your tall grey teacher Maris gave you the human ladder to assist in our understanding using different levels, but there are also different dimensions to consider on each level. Earth is a level 1 planet, but also has various dimensions. It is multidimensional. Can you walk us through an example of this, please?
Okay, Paula, to clarify a little more about dimensions in the human ladder. The human ladder is an illustration or scale of the ascending levels of conscious awareness throughout the universe, from level 1, which enables approximately 10% awareness, through to level 10, which enables 100% conscious awareness. The percentage of conscious awareness that we can access is intrinsically connected to the percentage of DNA that we have activated. Earth-plane humanity generally has about 10% active DNA, so can therefore access around 10% of potential conscious awareness. The rest is hidden away on sub- or superconscious levels.
So Earth-plane humanity has about 10% active DNA, so can therefore access around 10% of potential conscious awareness. Earth-plane humanity generally has a 3D awareness, so how does this link into other dimensions outside of 3D?
How this links into other dimensions outside of 3D is that the higher our percentage of conscious awareness, the more dimensional frequencies we can perceive. All dimensions are right here, right now, but because an average Earth human can only access 10% of their potential consciousness, they're only able to perceive up to 3D and a little into 4D. Human evolution involves gradually opening up to a higher percentage of consciousness over a span of many lives, which in turn will enable us to perceive a broader range of energy frequencies and dimensions.
And now that we are in the planetary shift, we are shifting our awareness.
Yes, this is what the planetary shift is all about. Shifting our awareness from 3D up through 4D to 5D. The New Age movement has been all about learning to access and handle 4D, a lot of which is learning to move through the fear and ego barrier. Fear is the ring pass knot to higher dimensional frequencies. They cannot be accessed until we have overcome fear and embraced unconditional love. All dimensions are right here, right now.
What about the interdimensional energy portals in various places on the planet?
There are interdimensional energy portals in various places on the planet, with some of them inside the physical Earth. It's through these portals that interdimensional beings such as the Sasquatch, Loch Ness Monster and other such phenomena come through to our 3D world.
So are the Sasquatch of a higher frequency and the Loch Ness Monster maybe lower?
No, not necessarily. They may even be 3D, but just existing on a different timeline. I know with the Sasquatch that they have a close connection with the ETs, so I think they just know how to move through timelines. Maybe the ETs help them to do this. There are some Earth humans who can do this too, but you need to know how. It does take help and training. There are both higher and lower dimensional levels of reality here on Earth, existing right alongside us, and also alternative timelines, but our limited 3D awareness cannot perceive them. Certain drugs and alcohol can potentially shift our awareness and open us up to outside of 3D awareness, but doing it this way lowers our natural safeguards and removes our natural protection mechanism.
So ultimately not a good idea. So Judy, you said that there are both higher and lower dimensional levels of reality right here on Earth, existing right alongside us, and also alternative timelines, but our limited 3D awareness cannot perceive them. What is the difference between higher and lower dimensional levels of reality and alternative timelines?
Okay, the difference is the rate of vibrational energy frequency. Higher dimensions vibrate at a higher rate based on the practice of unconditional love, and lower dimensions vibrate at a lower rate based on fear and ego. The higher the frequency, the more evolved the energy of those people operating at that frequency. That is the only difference. As for timelines, we create our own reality through the way we think and focus our thoughts. And there are many alternative timelines happening all around us continually. Again, they're of different energy frequencies, higher or lower. Staying positive to the best of our ability helps us to stay centred in a more positive timeline with better outcomes.
Judy, in our last episode, 65, you talked about how the faked alien abduction program known as MILABs, military abductions, made use of holographic imagery and used the PLFs, the fake greys, which are manufactured right here on Earth. Are these things created and carried out in the underground tunnels, or are they being carried out in bases all over the world, including Antarctica?
This covert activity is generally carried out deep underground, hence all the many levels at some of the military bases and in Antarctica. A program has been in operation right here on Earth since the 1950s to subject people who are having genuine positive contact with genuine greys to military-assisted fake contact experiences. This is specifically designed to cause maximum confusion and fear of genuine ET contact.
And the Inner Earth people are also part of this fake program because they have ships that are often mistaken for genuine ET ships. As you've said, the UFOs that were being manufactured by the Nazis in World War II had technology given to them by this Inner Earth Aryan master race. You were saying in our last episode that this Inner Earth group was the inspiration behind Hitler and the whole Nazi movement.
Yes, Hitler and a number of others prominent in the Nazi movement were deeply involved in occult practices. Hitler received training through his connection with both the Thule group and also the Vril Society, which were both connected to the Inner Earth people. Through them he learnt techniques of concentration, visualization, and how to direct his willpower to influence others. It seems to be a form of hypnotism that he practiced. His connection to the Inner Earth people was also through a man by the name of Dietrich Eckart, who in turn claimed a connection with the Inner Earth Aryan master race. Eckart was the guru that Hitler followed. In this way, Hitler was used as a puppet by the Inner Earth people. They've been the controllers of Earth for millennia, but I think they wanted their control to become more overt, and their ultimate aim was to create a master race on the outer Earth. Eckart was strongly anti-Semitic, just as Hitler was, and very much into promoting a pure, untainted Aryan bloodline.
But why would the Inner Earth people give the Nazis their technology? Were they working together to control the 3D Earth?
They saw in Hitler a natural leader and a good talker who could be used as a go-between. Their plan was to use the Nazi regime to carry out their dirty work, so to speak. We create our own reality through the way we think, and Hitler and the Nazis were all about creating a master race inspired by Nordic mythology, in which there are legends of this Aryan master race. It was almost like a religious mission to their way of thinking, an ethnic cleansing of the planet.
But Hitler didn't actually know where or how to access this Inner Earth race, and he sent troops out regularly to search for an entrance to the Inner Earth.
Yes, the Aryans were in total control of the situation and would not have allowed him to enter their territory. The whole thing was carried out on their terms. Hitler was nothing but a puppet to be used then discarded. They basically just exploited his egotistical views about this tall, blonde, blue-eyed master race to be established on Earth, inspired by the Nordic legends and also the biblical concept of angels that Earth humans have linked into. It appealed to his very racist views and has drawn many people in the same way. There's an awful lot of xenophobic racism down here when you look at the history of Earth and even what still goes on today. It's very strong in the field of research on ETs.
So did Hitler's troops ever find the Inner Earth?
I suspect that some of them ended up being taken there, perhaps down in Antarctica. There's a very interesting book on all of this entitled The Nazis and the Supernatural by Michael Fitzgerald. Most of the so-called UFOs that were showing up on radar down here and intimidating Air Force pilots during the years after World War II were actually from the Inner Earth group, pretending to be genuine ETs. This is where the fear campaign against the genuine ETs, the Zetas and other Greys, began. The last thing the Inner Earth people want is for them to come here and start waking Earth, playing humanity up to what's been going on for millennia. As I talked about in our last episode, the Roswell crash occurred just after the war in 1947, when all of this Inner Earth technology was showing up in the skies, playing cat and mouse games with the American Air Force. On a higher universal level, the Roswell crash was a way of evening out the playing field by enabling the Allied forces to access this same advanced technology. Of course, once the military got their hands on the ship and the bodies, they assumed that it was these same ones, obviously ETs, who were making aggressive manoeuvres against the Air Force pilots, but they weren't. It was only the technology that was similar. As we also discussed in episode 5, there were no treaties signed between Earth-plane authorities and the genuine Greys, permitting the Greys to abduct and experiment on people or to harvest genetic material. However, such a program was carried out by the Inner Earth people with assistance from the Nazis. This is still being done and is what the cattle mutilations are all about. Yes, sometimes supposed UFOs are seen in connection with these events, but they're from right here on Earth. They are not extraterrestrial. It's this same group just pretending to be ETs, so the genuine ETs get the blame. Many researchers on the subject are buying into this and playing right into the hands of these negative forces. These two are the ones carrying out the adrenochrome harvesting and using holographic imagery to fool people into believing that Greys and also well-known people from Earth are taking part in this. So much trickery is going on. I also recall reading about a meeting that took place with a supposedly extraterrestrial person, again a tall blonde, who warned about the Greys coming here to invade the Earth. Again, it was one of the Inner Earth ones spreading fear and disinformation about the genuine ETs. This massive disinformation campaign has gone on since World War II, and the amount of lying and propaganda is mind-blowing.
And this leads us back to the Roswell crash, which you spoke about in episode 64. The reason behind it was to try to even out the playing field here on Earth. The Nazis were not defeated at the end of the Second World War. They simply went underground and planned a major overt world takeover using the anti-gravity technology that they'd been given by the tall blonde Inner Earth group. So, if you want to read more about all of this, I'd just like to remind everybody Judy's books are available from Amazon, or you can go directly through Judy's website, which is included in the link below. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with your family and friends and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, sending you all so much love, and thank you all so much for listening. Bye for now.